Hello everyone, welcome to Foreign Farming in the Philippines. I wanted to show you how these little guys treat this starter feed. Now these are the smallest pellets that I can get, and you can see that there are a few larger ones in there that could eat it, but the vast majority of these little tiny ones, although they're interested in it, it's too big for them to eat. And you can even see there the little pellets swimming around in the water. They actually, they'll actually get it in their mouth and swim around with it, but they just can't swallow it. And that's why these little dudes here are going to stay on this fry mash for at least another 10 days, maybe even 2 weeks. Because this stuff here, they love and they can eat. I finally got a little break in the rain here. Tatai has laid out this, I don't know if it's showing up. He's laid this out for me here so that I can begin digging out this outer perimeter. Of course, we kind of got rained out this morning. I was doing a live stream, and then it rained for about an hour. I was really surprised, happy and surprised, but I also could not get anybody fed during that time. I have an idea on how to filter this, which I'm going to have built. I think if I can get the materials, I can build it myself. But I'm not sure that I can get the materials here in Talibon, because I'd want to make it out of plexiglass, because I'd be afraid of it breaking if it was made out of just, plain old glass. So we shall see if I'll be able to get it done. I'm going to hook up the siphon again to these tanks, because we did have about an hour's worth of heavy rain. And look, many people have been asking, what about the overflows for these tanks? All I'm going to do is chip out the top portion of this rendering that Tatai has put in. Just chip it out, and this will flow into the next tank and the next tank. And I'll put a little screen here so that when these tanks become over full, they'll just flow into the next tank, and then the last tank will have an overflow going into the ditch. A little bit more feed to these breeders here, because they were pretty dang hungry. And I'm going to go down and feed the rest of the fish. Now, I have been feeding the larger fry that are in the floating cage, and I'm worried about this here. It's so dang slippery after a rain. In fact, I'm going to walk on the dirt, because it's less slippery than that concrete. I'm going to set this down here and get the siphon going. I've just come down and started feeding the fish, and look at that, guys. We finally got enough rain to be draining from this pond into the rest. And I can tell that that next pond, the last pond down there, has come up about 4 inches already. So I am indeed a happy camper. So finally we can start saving a little bit of peso on pumping water. I would be incredibly pleased if it would do this again. It rained pretty good for about an hour and a half maybe, and at least saved us from having to pump water today. I'm several hours late in feeding these fish, Probably why they're a little hungry. They are eating fairly well. Again, these guys are just not, they don't intensely go after the food. Watch the difference between how these guys are eating and what will happen here when I throw feed into this pond. These are the 5,000 or so that we transferred. Yeah, see, these guys are on it. There's fewer fish in here, but there's more feeding activity, and I think it's just a water quality thing. These guys are doing good, and as you can see, this will continue for a while, and I'm liking it. It's been a real struggle to get this last pond full and to keep it full. Tata and I were talking about it yesterday. Over in that corner over there, we were getting into sand as we were digging down, and I think it's just this pond isn't holding water like it should be because there's not a lot of clay. It's about a 10 by 10 foot square over there, I guess, right on that edge right over there where we were getting into sand. We stopped digging down, but nonetheless there is sand over there, and I think that's what's keeping this pond from staying full. It will eventually seal. It'll seal from the fish crap. The fish crap will seal it, and this will be much easier to keep water in. I'm going to throw one more scoop in, throw a couple more in the top, and give the rest to the ones in the floating cage. But I'm definitely digging this free water thing right there. I'm loving it. And I'm hearing more thunder. I started feeding these guys in this floating cage these starter pellets exclusively yesterday, and it'll probably take them a couple days to get used to it. We'll see how they do today. They were eating it yesterday, so we'll see how they're going to get after it today. Oh yeah, they're digging it. I threw the equivalent of about a half a scoop in there because I'm down at the bottom of the bucket and I can't get a full scoop. I'm gonna see how they're gonna eat tomorrow. Now that right there has got me a little concerned as to how that happened. I'm betting that bird got up on there and was walking around. I'm gonna have to get in the water and fix that. I don't think that's from a person or a dog. Dogs wouldn't swim out there. I think that's that bird perching there and testing his luck, because it's a little bit loose all the way down. So I'm going to repair that. Yeah, these little guys are not totally in love with these floating pellets yet, but they're going to have to get used to it. That's all there is to it, because I'm not going to waste any more fry mash throwing it in there. The fry mash, I mean, I know I'd made a big deal about having a hard time getting it in there. The thing is, the fry mash is a sinking feed, and this cage doesn't have a bottom. Well, it has a bottom, but it's a net bottom. So I don't know, 75% of the feed that I'm feeding them, that I was feeding them before, is just going out the bottom. At least with these pellets, those floating pellets, they can get it while it's all still in there. And you know, these pellets, they expand in size when they're in water, so it'll actually become harder for them to eat it. But after, you know, after an hour, let's say, the pellets begin to break up and become much smaller little morsels, which they can eat. So I'm going to toss one more scoop in there and wish them luck, and I'm going to go over and see what Tata is doing. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.